Morning students, I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class.
Good morning, ma. In previous class we have seen what about the electronegativity and even electropositivity, how they are varied in groups and periods also we have seen. This is the information about that one. Non-metals are high electronegative in nature. Hydrogen is the non-metal with least electronegative value in non-metals. All metals are less electronegative than hydrogen. Okay, this is the information about electronegativity. After that we will go for next property, that is property number 5. Electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity, we will say EA. First we will see the definition. The minimum amount of energy released when one electron is added to the minimum amount of energy released when one electron is added to the neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. The minimum amount of energy released when one electron is added to the neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. Like this, if I say 3 more times also, it will be like that only, new only. Let us see the explanation, ma. Before that, one more time the definition is the minimum amount of energy released when one electron is added to the neutral isolated gaseous atom. What is the meaning of this one? When we add electron to the neutral isolated gaseous atom into the outermost shell, the minimum amount of energy released when one electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. Okay, when one electron is added to the neutral isolated gaseous atom to its outermost shell, amount of energy will be released. How much amount of energy is released? That is called electron affinity. Okay, this is also similar like ionization energy only, but ionization energy and this one are reverse, ma. Coming to ionization energy, the minimum amount of energy required to remove the electron from the neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. Coming to EA, this is released. The minimum amount of energy released when one electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. Here I think we should not take minimum, we have to take maximum amount of energy, or simply we can write better the amount of energy released. The amount of energy released when one electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. Units: joules per mole or kilojoules per mole. This is energy released. Energy has units. For every mole we will consider. So joules per mole or kilojoules per mole. Those are the units. Now coming to the explanation. Let us consider one atom, fluorine. Electronic configuration of fluorine is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Fluorine has two shells. First shell has 2 electrons. Second shell has 5 electrons. 7 electrons, ma. If fluorine gains 1 electron, it will get the configuration of neon. Neon configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. It is highly stable. To get the configuration of neon, fluorine wants to gain 1 electron from outside. Let us consider that electron should enter into the outermost shell of fluorine. At the time this electron is entering into the outermost shell of fluorine, already this is the second shell, which is small shell. First one is smaller, ma. Okay. From there, second one is slightly bigger than first one, but this is second one only, na, not very much higher. So second one is also smaller only. Now electron is entering into smaller. That too, in that smaller shell, we have 7 electrons. In that smaller shell, we have 7 electrons. These already present 7 electrons. These already present 7 electrons. They will repel the newly coming electron. These already present 7 electrons. They will repel the newly coming electron, because these electrons contain negative charge and newly coming electron also carries negative charge. Because of these repulsions present between already present electrons and the newly coming electrons, this electron faces repulsion forces, ma. This electron faces repulsions from already present electrons. Even though repulsions are there, that electron should enter into the outermost shell of fluorine. Why? It wants to get stability. Is it correct or not? To get the stability, definitely fluorine should gain the electron. For that, whatever the requirement is there, that fluorine will do. Not only fluorine, any element. For getting stability, maximum extent, to how much extent what they can do, they will do. That's why, even though repulsions are present, this electron, it should enter into the outermost shell. But even this electron is entering into that outermost shell to be stable. Fluorine should be stable. But again, it is applied with repulsion forces, na? Because of that repulsion forces, some amount of energy will be lost to the surroundings. How much amount of energy is lost to the surroundings? That is called electron gain enthalpy. At the time of electron gaining, some energy is going to be lost. Enthalpy is nothing but energy. At the time of gaining the electron, some amount of energy is lost. That is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. The amount of energy released when one electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. Why that atom is losing energy at the time of gaining electron? Because already present electrons, they will apply more repulsions on newly coming electron. Already present electrons, they will apply more repulsions on newly coming electron. So that newly coming electron, while it is entering into that outermost shell, it is opposed by repulsion forces. But at the same time, that electron should enter into that orbit, because that atom should get stability by gaining that electron. That's why even though it is applied with forces, repulsion forces, it should enter into the orbit. Is it correct or not? Because of that, what is going to be happened? It should lose energy at the time of repulsion forces. That energy, how much energy is released? That is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. The amount of energy released when one electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. For example, this is the door which is very free for us. So without any effort, we can enter into that door. But in the entrance of the door, one big fatty person is there. That is our classroom, but this fatty person is opposing us not to enter into class. Almost 75% entrance is occupied by that fatty person. Then if you want to enter, we will be facing with repulsion forces. Is it correct or not? With that fatty person, we will be applied with repulsion forces. But we want to enter into that class because we want to study and we want to get the rank. For that, I need to enter into the class. But repulsions are present here. Then what I will do? I will oppose that repulsion forces, and I will do fight with this person. Fight is nothing but I want to oppose that person. So I want to push that person and I want to enter into that class. At that time, some amount of energy will be lost from my body. Is it correct or not? Because of that oppositions, all these things, while I am pushing that person, he will push me because of repulsion forces. All these things. Finally, I entered. Anyways, I pushed him highly and I entered into the class. But previously, without any this repulsion, if I enter into the class, happily I will enter without any losing of energy. But here, because of this repulsion of this fatty person, when I enter into the class and after sitting some time, I will be relaxed. I should be relaxed after some time only, because my energy is lost to some extent because of the repulsions present here. Like that here also, already present electrons, they will repel the electron. Because of that, energy is going to be lost. Okay, when energy is going to be lost, that process is called exothermic. That's why delta H is equal to negative for electron affinity. Delta H is equal to negative for electron affinity. But this is called EA1 only. Electron affinity 1. Electron affinity 2, electron affinity 3 are there. Those are important. Okay, we will see that one. Before that, first we are giving the electron into the neutral isolated atom. That's why this is called EA1. We are giving the first electron into the neutral atom. That is called EA1. So every time EA1 is equal to negative only. Energy will be released. But coming to EA2 and EA3, we will get positive values. Means energy will be absorbed in case of EA2 and EA3. How can we explain EA2 and EA3? By considering oxygen atom, we can explain. Is it okay? Let us see then what about oxygen atom. I hope till this definition is clear for you. Definition of electron gain enthalpy is clear for you, I hope. Okay, now let us see what about EA2 and EA1. Let us consider oxygen. Oxygen electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. This is electronic configuration of oxygen, which has two shells. First shell has 2 electrons, second shell has 6 electrons. Now, one electron is entering from outside into this is oxygen, neutral atom, neutral isolated gaseous atom. Into this neutral isolated gaseous atom, electron is entering, one electron is entering into the outermost shell. At that time, because of this electrons, it will be opposed and it will release energy. This is called EA1. Energy is released, so this is oxygen by gaining electron. See, oxygen by gaining electron, it will be converted to O minus. It will be converted to O minus EA1, meaning delta H value is negative. Energy is going to be released. That is the meaning of minus EA1. Energy is going to be released. Here I am going to draw the O minus. This O is converted to O minus plus first shell. Slightly O minus is bigger than O. In previous class already we have seen, every time anions are bigger than neutral atoms. Okay, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is O minus. Now, O minus is also not stable because one more electron it wants to get the neon configuration. O minus has outermost 7 electrons. But to get the neon configuration, it wants one more electron. Then this O minus should gain one more electron. But while this electron is entering, this is not entering into neutral atom. Observe carefully. Previously, for EA1 consideration, electron is entered into neutral atom. So only repulsions are present between already present electrons and newly coming electron. Okay, energy is released. That is clear. But here, electron is entering into negative particle. Electron is entering into negative particle. Electron is containing negative charge and already O minus contains negative charge. Means more number of electrons are present in outermost shell, 7 electrons. Previously, this electron is opposed by 6 electrons only. This time, this electron is getting opposed by 7 electrons. That's why this electron faces more repulsions when compared to this electron. This electron should enter into outermost shell which contains 7 electrons. This electron should enter into outermost shell contains 6 electrons only. Then this electron faces high repulsions. Because of high repulsions, this electron is not able to enter into that shell. The chances are getting decreased. Previously, this electron only, it is very difficult. With very difficulty, this electron enters into that shell. At the time, energy is released. That is okay. Now, this electron faces high repulsions when compared to that one. That's why this electron is not able to enter into that shell because of high repulsions. Is it okay? Then what we are going to do? We are supplying some amount of energy for electron from outside. Means we are forcing that electron. We are forcing that electron to enter into the outermost shell. That electron is not able to enter on its own. Then what we are going to do? we are giving some energy from outside in the form of heat energy only. Okay, we are supplying energy from outside to that electron, in which we are pushing that electron to enter into that outermost shell. We are pushing that electron to enter into that outermost shell. That pushing energy is there given by outside, that is greater, very much greater than while electron is entering into the outermost shell, energy released. Here also actually some amount of energy is released because of repulsions. Definitely, see. Energy is released because of repulsions. But energy is absorbed from outside to be into the orbit. Which energy is absorbed, ma? We are supplying energy, na? That energy is absorbed. From outside we are supplying energy to the electron. That energy is absorbed. While it is entering into the orbit, some amount of energy is released. But to make this electron enter into the O minus, we need to supply very high amount of energy. We need to supply very high amount of energy. Are you understanding, ma? To make the electron enter into the outermost shell of O minus, we need to supply more amount of energy. That means energy absorbed is greater than energy released. Energy absorbed is greater than energy released when O minus is converted to O minus 2. This is called EA2. Energy absorbed is greater than energy released. 10 joules of energy is absorbed. Only 3 joules of energy is released. Then what is the total net amount of energy absorbed? 7 joules of energy will be absorbed. What is the result of EA2? Energy is getting absorbed, not released. But previously here, while this electron is entering into the oxygen atom, repulsions are faced by this electron also. Okay, even energy is given from outside, but that energy absorbed is less than energy released. Energy absorbed here, it is less than energy released because of that electron is entering into neutral atom. So net amount of energy is released only. So EA1 is every time negative. That is exothermic. EA1 is every time negative. But coming to EA2, that electron should enter into the O minus. Because of that, we have to push that electron to enter into that orbit. That means energy absorbed is greater than energy released. Energy absorbed is greater than energy released. Because of that, net amount of energy is absorbed. So while O minus is getting converted to O minus 2, that is EA2 will be absorbed. This is conversion of O to O minus, O minus to O minus 2. O minus changed to O minus 2. I hope now you are clear. What about this EA2? The amount of energy absorbed when one electron is added to uni-negative gaseous ion. Uni-negative gaseous ion. I will write that one definition, ma. So every time EA2 is positive, EA1 is negative. You can understand, if EA3 is there, For nitrogen, EA3 is also there. From this you can understand that EA3 is further positive. So only EA1 is negative, remaining EA2, EA3 all are positive values. Now I am going to write that one. Before that explanation, I hope you are clear. More amount of energy must be given to electron to keep that electron in outer orbit. That's why amount of energy absorbed is greater than amount of energy released. Okay, that's why every time EA1 is equal to negative, that means it is exothermic process. EA2, EA3, etc. are all positive. That means these are all endothermic processes. These are all endothermic processes. Okay, ma? Now, what is the definition of EA2 and EA3? Like that we can go through, but EA2 only I am giving definition. The amount of energy absorbed when one electron is added to outermost shell of uni-negative ion is called EA2. Every time EA2 is positive value, EA3 is also positive value, EA1 only it is negative, exothermic. And the clear explanation is also understood, ma. I hope you are clear about this concept. Why EA1 is negative, and EA2 and EA3 are negative, positive, ma. EA2, EA3 are positive, EA1 is negative, meaning energy released in case of EA1, EA2, EA3 energy will be absorbed. That's why definitions are different. Definition for EA1, this is amount of energy released when one electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity, EA1, and this is EA2. This is about clear explanation regarding electron affinity and their definitions. Now, what about the variation of electron affinity in groups and in periods? First we will consider groups. Variation of electron affinity in groups. Let us consider lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Okay, top to bottom, what happened to size? Increases. Top to bottom, what happened to size? Increases. Now, if electron enters into lithium, more amount of energy will be released. If electron enters into cesium, less amount of energy is released. Meaning, this is higher electron affinity value, this is lower electron affinity value. Actually, this group does not contain electron affinity. Let us consider any one group. Otherwise, instead of taking this lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, any other group let us consider. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, like that we can take. Top to bottom, what happened to size? Size increases. When electron enters into small atom, more amount of energy is released. When electron enters into bigger atom, repulsions will be less, so less amount of energy is released. Here smaller orbit, all atoms contain 7 electrons only. All atoms contain 7 electrons only. So small atom is there, that small atom can lose more amount of energy when an electron enters into outermost orbit when compared to big atom. because here it will be understood clearly. Is it clear, ma? When more amount of energy is released, electron affinity is high here. So top to bottom, atomic radius increases, electron affinity decreases. Electron affinity decreases. According to that term, we can write fluorine is greater than chlorine, chlorine is greater than bromine, bromine is greater than iodine, iodine is greater than astatine. Like that we can write the electron affinity values order for group. But this is the rule according to our definition wise. But exceptionally, fluorine is showing lower electron affinity than chlorine. So fluorine is less than chlorine, chlorine is greater than bromine, bromine is greater than iodine, iodine is greater than astatine. This is the order should be followed, but this is actual order. Coming to this actual order, fluorine is less than chlorine, chlorine is greater than bromine. So in a group, second element is showing high electron affinity when compared to first element. Not only in this group, if you consider oxygen group also, oxygen is less than sulfur, sulfur is less than sulfur is greater than selenium, selenium is greater than tellurium, tellurium is greater than polonium. Like that, second element is showing high electron affinity value instead of first element in a group. In oxygen group also like that only, even nitrogen group also like that only, okay. So second element is showing high electron affinity value instead of first element in a group. Reason for this one we will see after completion of variation of electron affinity in periods also. Okay, first we will complete variation of electron affinity in periods also. After that we will come to what about this fluorine and chlorine, oxygen and sulfur. By taking example with fluorine and chlorine, you will be clear with oxygen and sulfur also. So remember this point, out of total periodic table in a group, second element electron affinity value is greater than first element electron affinity. Actually in a group, top to bottom, electron affinity value must be decreased. Then first element should show higher electron affinity than second element. But coming to experimental values, second element is showing higher electron affinity value instead of first element in a group. Okay, that's why chlorine is showing higher electron affinity than fluorine. Sulfur is showing high electron affinity value than oxygen. That reason I will tell later, but presently first we will see variation of electron affinity in periods also. Let us see what about that one. In groups, this is the order. Next, coming to variation of electron affinity in periods. Left to right, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Okay, see what happened to size? Decreases. When atomic radius decreases, here newly coming electron will face more repulsions, and because of that more amount of energy is released from fluorine when compared to lithium. Because of that, in a period from left to right, electron affinity value increases. In a period from left to right, electron affinity value increases. In a group from top to bottom, electron affinity value decreases. According to atomic size, we discussed. So according to this, coming to first group to 17th group, 17th group has high electron affinity values. Seventeenth group has high electron affinity values. Left to right, electron affinity increases only, na? So group wise, if you see, first group lower electron affinity, second group little bit higher electron affinity, like that electron affinity increases from left to right in a way that finally 17th group is there. That 17th group has high electron affinity values. In that 17th group also, which one has high electron affinity? Already we have seen chlorine. So out of total periodic table, chlorine is the element which has high electron affinity value. Chlorine is the element which has high electron affinity value. Is it okay, ma? This is the information about what about the variation of electron affinity in periods. Next, coming to this fluorine and chlorine, what about the exception case? Let us see that one. Fluorine electronic configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p5. It has 9 protons in the nucleus and only 2 shells. Which is very small. Fluorine is very small. From fluorine to chlorine, slightly size increases, which contains 3 shells. See here, main factors, those are going to affect electron affinity. Those are repulsion forces is the main property which is going to affect, as well as atomic radius also. Repulsion forces and atomic radius. Okay, how I am going to explain? Observe carefully. Very important point here. First thing, electron is present here for fluorine. Electron is present here for chlorine. Okay, now I want to discuss electron affinity with respect to chlorine and fluorine with you. Is it okay? Now, when I am going to discuss this electron affinity, first thing is electron should come near to the atom. Is it correct or not? When electron comes near to the atom, then only we will see the factor repulsion forces. When electron comes near to the atom, then only we have to consider repulsion forces. According to repulsion forces, we can say electron affinity value. Is it correct? Now, because of very small size of fluorine, very small size, these already present 7 electrons are very much nearer to each other. These already present 7 electrons in second shell are very much nearer to each other because of very small size. But in chlorine, third shell, slightly those 7 electrons are present like this freely. somewhat freely. In fluorine, these 7 electrons are present very much closely packed with each other. Close packed means very much closely with each other. Because of this very close nearby each other of these 7 electrons, first this electron is not able to come near to the fluorine. This is getting very much fear of when it comes near to the fluorine, it will apply with high repulsions like that this electron, and it is not able to come near to the fluorine also because of very much high repulsions. When these electrons are present in small shell, these 7 electrons, high number 7 electrons is high number. More than that, only neon, that means inert gases only contain 8 electrons in the outermost shell. But those are not involved in chemical bonding. So out of remaining all the elements, this group only contains high number of electrons in the outermost shell. 7 electrons. Excluding D block. D block exception cases are there. Inner shells also considered in case of D block. Coming to this fluorine, okay, leave that one. Now, the 7 electrons are present in very small shell nearby each other. That's why this electron is not able to come near to the fluorine atom. Then only if it comes, if electron comes near to the atom, then only we can consider repulsion forces. But first this electron is not able to come near also. Is it correct or not? Even we are applying some amount of energy, then if it is not coming near to the atom, what we have to do? Slightly we have to increase pushing. When it is happened with pushing, slightly energy required to send the electron nearby that atom increases. Then in this condition, energy required to push the electron is 5. Energy required to push the electron, because electron is not able to reach the atom. Correct or not? Electron, we want to push the electron little bit highly. Then it is required 5 joules. Then because of the repulsions, it is entering into the outermost shell. Energy is released. Even though high repulsions, okay, let us consider 10 joules of energy will be released. But we are supplying how much amount of energy to the electron? 5 joules of energy, and 10 joules of energy is going to be released because of high repulsions. Okay, now you will be very clear, see here. Because of high repulsions, 10 joules of energy is released. But it is not able to enter, so we have to supply more amount of energy, that is 5 joules. What is the net result? Minus 5 joules. That is the net result for fluorine. Now, for chlorine, little bit size is bigger when compared to fluorine. Not very much bigger also. Slightly, third shell is there. So, electrons present in this third shell, 7 electrons present in this third shell are little bit free. Not that much closely packed like fluorine. Because of this somewhat freeness, this electron, it can reach the chlorine somewhat easily. So, no need to supply that much amount of energy to push this electron. Is it correct? Then here it is required with only 1 joule of energy. Here we have to supply only 1 joule of energy to send this electron, because somewhat freely only electron itself it will go, but slight repulsions, because of that slightly we are giving energy to push the electron. So how much amount of energy is required when compared to fluorine? Energy required to push the electron is 1 joule only. Here 5 joules. Now because of less repulsions, see this is big atom, big shell. So repulsions are less. Okay. Because of that less repulsions, slightly less amount of energy is released from chlorine when compared to fluorine. So how much amount of energy is, this is plus, this is also plus, this is minus. Now when compared to fluorine, chlorine will release less amount of energy. That less amount of energy is minus, is representing releasing only. Numerical value, it should be less than 10. That only we have to understand. Please don't think that minus is like maths value. minus 1 is less than 0, that is okay. But here this minus is representing energy releasing only. This is not actually like mass negative value ma. Again and again I am telling here. This negative is representing energy released. Here energy released is less than energy released in case of fluorine. Okay, 9 or 8. 8 joules of energy is released, but 1 joule of energy is absorbed. Here 5 joules of energy is absorbed, 10 joules of energy is released. What is the net amount of energy coming to chlorine? 7. Minus means released. Here 5 joules of energy released. In which condition net amount of energy released is high? For chlorine only. Is it correct or not? That's why chlorine has high electron affinity value when compared to fluorine. Chlorine has high electron affinity value when compared to chlorine. This is the reason. We are going to see net amount of energy only. Energy absorbed, energy released. Here also energy absorbed, energy released. Energy absorbed is greater, energy released is also greater, but net amount of energy minus 5. 5 joules of energy is released. Here energy absorption is less because electron can enter into the chlorine easily, nearby the chlorine easily somewhat. So less amount of energy is required to push the electron. But energy released is less only. But total net it is releasing 7. Here 5. That's why chlorine electron affinity is greater than fluorine. This is the reason. I hope now you are clear ma. Remaining normally because of size is getting very much bigger. For bromine iodine automatically repulsions are very less ma. Amount of energy released is very less. So this is according to our order only. But exception case in case of fluorine and chlorine, like that oxygen and sulfur also like that only. So every time second element is showing high electron affinity value instead of first element in a group. This is about exception case in case of electron affinity. Okay, and this is about explanation. Now finally some conclusions I am going to write. Fluorine highest electronegative element. Chlorine highest electron affinity element, meaning chlorine has highest electron affinity out of total periodic table. Left to right electron affinity increases, top to bottom decreases. So resultant chlorine. Third one cesium, highest electropositive element. Cesium highest electropositive element. Is it okay? This is about variation of electron affinity in groups and in periods also, and even what about the exception case was also clearly explained. Till now we have seen 5 properties. Those are 5 main properties. First one atomic radius, second one ionization energy, third one electronegativity, fourth one electropositivity, and fifth one electronegativity. Here onwards very small properties are there. Metallic character, non-metallic character, oxidizing power, reducing power, okay, SD character, basic character, and some diagonal relationship are there. Those are highly required with half an hour only. By that chapter is going to be completed. Is it okay ma? These are the main properties till now, whatever the thing we have discussed, and these are the conclusions from the points. Fluorine highest electronegative element, chlorine highest electron affinity element, cesium highest electropositive element. And what about all these things we have discussed. Now in next class we will see what about the remaining properties, and on a whole means by taking the periodic table how we are going to discuss these 5 properties also. Once within 5 to 10 minutes I will explain, and by next class we are going to complete this periodic classification. This is about today's class, ma. I hope you are clear. Okay, and EA1, coming to EA1, EA2 values also very important. Remember carefully. EA2 and EA3 are positive values. EA1 only it is negative value. Okay, ma. That is about today's class. Thank you all. Have a nice day.